Minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Now a good running play here to start the drive. That'll net him 14 yards as they pick up the first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Rashawn Slater, first-round pick in 2021, guilty there. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Herbert off of play action. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Foyesade Aluakin. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. That's kind of a double whammy. I mean, the interception on the opening drive, that's one thing. But to give him this field position, that's another.
Absolutely perfect start for this defense. They take the ball away on the opening possession. They know that their offense will get the ball to start the second half. They line them up in field goal position. And to me, they got a chance for a touchdown right here out of the gate.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by... The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Jacobs now breaks a tackle, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll try the air now with Herbert. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Herbert. Going to throw right side here, complete. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Back to throw here, Herbert. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Jags are going to have it here just past the 25.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Running out of the gun with ETN. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Here's Lawrence. And he fires one, but incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Off the play fake, Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off at the 47. Dances by him. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
They go play action now. Lawrence firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, number 28, Mike, he's coming, check in. Watch a slant.
On play action, Lawrence. This is caught. It's Kirk. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
49's the mic. Watch 49. Hey, check. 49, guys. Mike, 49.
Now Lawrence on first down. And one more time, here's Kirk. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Second down and goal. Lawrence into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. We're scoreless after 1. Now Herbert off the bootleg. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Play action. It's Herbert. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And it's fielded at the 34. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
From just shy of midfield, Lawrence. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford.
That his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off down at the 10. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Sliding out of the pocket. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A big connection on that one. 33 yards. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 40. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Eluding the... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
A big play that time through the air. 31 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to ETN. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Watch tight end. 4 down, 4 down. 49, guys. Mike, 49. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Whip. Watch the whip.
Here's a give to Etienne. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Ready. 70, Indy.
Lawrence. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. And he'll get this forward only for about a yard, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Let's get this. Big air. Slam.
On 3rd and goal, Lawrence. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. McCann's kick up and good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Foyesade Oluokun came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. Herbert. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team right on the midfield stripe. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From midfield now, Lawrence. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Open man is Kirk, complete. Touchdown, Jaguars! Christian Kirk as the first half is winding down. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going as they go to work with 12 seconds on the clock. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with the coach and our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Lawrence now off the bootleg. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And got his man complete. Touchdown. Christian Kirk, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off-play action. Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Going deep here for Allen. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Past the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. McCann's got it teed up. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And great field position coming up as he gets this just shy of the 45, out of bounds at the 44.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
And they'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Herbert. And that's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 34. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
Now left side on the swing pass. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. On the counter, Etienne. And he gets it down to the 32.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. He'll drop this one off with ETN. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Working with a 2nd and 4. Now Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for ETN. And down inside the 15 he goes.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Under pressure.
A handoff for ETN. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 45 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
I can't believe they let you go. I can't believe they
ETN. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. So CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they look like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead is now 24. McCann's got it teed up. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. On second down, it's Jacobs. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Caught left side, Williams. Touchdown, Chargers. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a two-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the two-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Going long here for Wallace. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big connection on that one. 36 yards. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jags are on their way to a 2-0 start. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. McCann's got it teed up. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Back to throw here, Herbert. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big gain that time for the Chargers.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
On 1st down, it's Herbert. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal as he's able to take this inside the 10 to the 8.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Jalen Guyton, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, we've talked about it before. You know, this jet sweep, something a lot of teams like to run nowadays, and this one winds up in the end zone.
And it is all about creating different ways to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And wasn't it interesting that prior to this game, head coach told us, I saw this sitting at my chair watching a Tuesday night college game and decided to implement it myself.
And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. That's sacked by Khalil Mack. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Chargers are right back in this football game. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Charger drive about to get going. And that last pick 6 may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the 4th quarter. They need points quickly. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
Well, we just saw something you don't ordinarily see, and that's him trying to deep ball after throwing a pick 6 on his previous pass. Normally, they give him something safe to get his confidence back. Instead, they let him fire it downfield, albeit unsuccessfully.
He's going to take another shot here. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 35. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play action. It's Lawrence. And this is caught at the 8. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jaguars are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. McCann's got it teed up. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Charger drive about to get going. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 2nd and 11 now. Herbert forced out to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is going to have the Chargers' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Flushed out right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Andre Sisco. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just...
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
He's got it teed up. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Charger drive about to get going.
Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point. that's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle it. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Throwing on 2nd and long. Herbert. And that one almost intercepted. Could have been his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone, so they could use something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 32. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one one bit. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Herbert off of play action. He's going to let it fly. And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
They'll get this out wide to Eckler. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Here's Herbert. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Jaguars, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville.